Well, hi everyone. Hey, we just wanted to take a moment and give an update on the Unfinished Initiative because I know we're in social isolation. The entire virus situation has, in some ways, changed everything. But in other ways, we are still moving forward with the vision of the church and with our plans on the property. And it's been just over a year since we launched the Unfinished Initiative. And so it's really important to us just to let you know how we're doing financially, what progress we're making on our building plans. And so any kind of conversation for that, for a number of reasons, means that it was best that I brought a dear friend of mine and the executive pastor of our church, Tom Morris, with us. One of the things that you may or may not know about Tom is he and his wife Rachel have been around Discovery longer than anybody. They actually relocated from the East Coast to plant Discovery. So, Tom, before we get into Unfinished and what we're doing now, it'd be just really neat just to hear what were your and Rachel's hopes and dreams when you came out here to get Discovery going?
Yeah, we had been a part of a church plant back in eastern Pennsylvania. And during that time, we got really acquainted with the idea of starting churches for people who really didn't think church was a priority for them, reaching people that were outside of the typical boundaries of faith. And we also were learning a lot about how to remove barriers in the way churches operate and think and approach ministry that keep people away unintentionally. So when we came to Colorado after the experience in Pennsylvania, we were really looking to see if a church could deliver on all of those promises of really focusing on people who weren't looking for church and we're really committed to removing all of those obstacles that might stand in the way of someone who wanted to be here.
Yeah. And so here we are, just two guys in front of a fireplace.
This fireplace.
Yeah. It's really moving for me because where we're sitting now obviously used to be dirt. We're in the barn right now filming this. And one of my most profound memories when Lisa and I came to consider coming to Discovery was Tom actually driving us in his pickup on this property. The church had already purchased this property in 2004. Just tell us a little bit about why this land.
Yeah, we launched a pretty extensive search looking as far north as Boulder and Niwot, and then down south into Westminster and over into Thornton. We got some help from a real expert in real estate who came and met with us, and we looked at several properties along 144th here. And at one point, we went and interviewed the city traffic engineer, and he told us there would be a light at Zuni and 144th when this area was all developed. And our real estate consultant said that's where we need to look. So we came out here. There was a sign on this property at the time, and we called the property owners or their real estate agent actually, and never heard back from them. For a couple of weeks, we tried to get in touch with them, and there was a Sunday in our regular service. We were meeting at Aspen Creek K-8 school at the time, and I was in the habit of giving announcements about our progress in looking for land, which we never had much progress. So they were jokingly referred to as announcements that aren't really announcements. And I made one of these one Sunday, and a lady stopped me after church, and she said, "I know what piece of property you need to buy." And she explained who she was and the property she was talking about. And I said, "Well, that's interesting because we've tried to contact the real estate agent about that property, and we've not heard back." And she said, "Well, that's because you're dealing with my family," which there were some complications there.
Yeah.
But she managed to intercede, and we did finally hear back from the real estate agent, and we were able to move forward with the deal on this property. And the mother of the family, the Green family, owned this. She was very supportive, wanted to see a church on some of their family homestead. So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah, so, most churches, when they plant, they do exactly what Discovery did. They try to raise some money, get some people, and they meet in some kind of portable environment. So that was Aspen Creek Elementary. We met in the cafeteria there for years. And this land was just 18 acres of vacant land with a lot of hopes and dreams attached to it from our congregation. For several years, Tom and I are looking right out a window onto 144. There was a sign on the corner of our property I remember it for years saying, coming soon, Discovery Christian Church. And by soon, it turns out it meant several years.
Yeah.
To speed us up to today, it was a long and painful journey to get from being dirt owners to being building owners. And now we sit in the barn and we have a place. And, you know, it'd be tempting for a church to think, okay, that's it. We're done. We got a building and here we are. But the reason we're giving this video is we are 1 year into a 2-year initiative called Unfinished. And Unfinished is very simply about the fact that we want to reach more people by building more and better space. We used to jokingly talk about how we want to reach more and better people, but it's not so much better people, it's more that we want to reach more people and help them get better. Yeah. You know, the vision of our church is that we believe everybody needs a life-changing encounter with the message of Jesus Christ. And the two ways we primarily do that is we invite them onto the property, and oftentimes when they come to our building, they will encounter God through any number of ways, a message, worship, being served in our children's ministry, all of that. But another profound way that we hope people encounter Jesus is by us serving them at their point of need. And so this Unfinished initiative is about getting more and better space, because the fact is we're generally out of space here in the barn. So Tom, we're sitting in what used to be outdoor space and now it's indoor space. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we just finished up a remodeling project to recapture some space in our building that was being underutilized. And so we've remodeled the lobby, we've made some changes in our auditorium space to increase the seating capacity, and we've turned some of what was outdoor space to indoor space. So we had some places to work and to meet, and relocated our nursery, moved it to another part of the building and expanded it because we were out of space there. I told you about removing obstacles, and churches unintentionally create all kinds of obstacles. Sometimes they're the way we think and the way we talk. But in our case here, one of the great obstacles we have to, this goal of reaching more people was physical space. We were just literally running out of room for people, especially children. So this remodel project has really improved our space and removed some of those obstacles.
Yeah, so phase one is pretty much done. Phase one was really getting the barn to where we can grow old in this building, really make use of it for the long term. Phase two is the view that Tom and I have right through the window. We'll show you a little bit of that as well. Maybe you could tell us a bit about the next building that we're almost ready to submit to the city.
Yeah, we still have those concerns about better space for our children and for our student ministries, and we also need parking. Anyone who's navigated their way here on a Sunday morning from our east dirt parking lot knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so phase two will be a new facility for children and student ministries, and it will also be surrounded by more and better parking. So we're really excited about that. We've begun, we have plans submitted to the city for review. We've started the initial dialogue with city planning. We're trying to figure out how to host a neighbor meeting, which is part of this process here in a social isolation environment. So we're working on that. And the design is progressing along nicely so that as we move through city approvals, we can also be ready to price and hire contractors and begin construction at some point, whenever that can happen.
Yeah, so phase one was getting the barn in better shape. It's basically done. We've got a couple more things. Phase two is this next building, and then phase three we're equally excited about, where we come back into the barn and we renovate the basement to really open up some opportunities for other local nonprofits to come in and use our space, and to launch a space where a counseling clinic can come in and use our space. You know, one of the long-term visions of our church that we've been living out for years now is being a blessing and good service to our city and people in the Front Range in need. And we already do all of that. We just really want to blow it out and do it where we can offer more and better space to other people as well. So that's coming along the pike as well. One of the things that we're really thrilled to announce is about a year into Unfinished, we have brought in just over $3 million in a year. I think it's safe to say that that's north of where we thought we'd be at this point.
Absolutely. It's a great number to be at this point. Our original projections were lower than that. And with the work that we're doing on the design and the scope of the next project, we're seeing some potential cost savings there. So the financial side of this project is really coming into view very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just also wanted to pause and just thank those of you who have jumped in. Obviously, Tom and I and our households are also sacrificing significantly for this campaign. This is something we're really passionate about. And so for those of you who have made that sacrifice too, we want to thank you. We are in great shape 1 year in. Obviously, in the isolation period, everything has been blown up in many ways. But it's really important to us that you know we are moving full speed ahead with this initiative. And we have good funding ready for phase 2 and for this second year of the campaign. One final note as we wrap up. We know that some of you, the COVID situation has significantly changed your financial reality. It may be that you made a commitment that you are currently not able to fill. We completely understand that, and we trust that you and God will sort that out. And if that's something you're not able to do for now, it would help us just to let us know. You can email tom@dc2.me. But at the same time, folks, I know for many of you, you've kind of been waiting to see if this is really a campaign that's going to take action. And we still need you. This is the year that we intend to raise about another $600,000 to keep this campaign moving forward. And just like we've been surprised this year, we would love to blow through that number as well. The campaign is called Unfinished for a reason. We have 18 acres and we plan on fully developing all of it so that we can reach people for the good news of Jesus Christ. So, thanks for joining us today. We just wanted to give you that quick update. If you have questions, we love questions. You can email me or Tom. Our emails will be on the bottom of the screen. And we hope you have a good week.